All right, the knight in shining armor for the Atlanta Falcons. I said it. You guys can take it. It's fine. Bijan Robinson. He's the NFC Offensive Player of the Month. Rightfully so for Bijan. What do you think his effect is on this offense, Joe?
Yeah, so, I mean, you could go through the yards, the numbers. That says one story. But I think what he's really adding to this offense is a level of versatility that I think we finally saw Zach Robinson being able to exploit in this last game against the Commanders. When you see them coming out of shotgun in 12 personnel, that would be with 2 tight ends. But then Bijan Robinson can come out in a bunch set on the left side. We saw that. So you're in 12 personnel, but you have a bunch with Bijan Robinson, Darnell Mooney, and Drake London on one side, and Kyle Pitts on the other, and Charlie Warner lined up at the back. That is exactly why you bring a player like him in. I remember when Arthur Smith introduced him, they said that he's not a running back, he's a home run hitter. That's what we want out of Bijan Robinson, and all the different ways you can use him. But we're starting to see him get split out a little bit more, catch some passes, leads the team in receiving at this point. So he's just showing how many tools he has in his game.
It's funny. I remember a lot of people giving the Falcons criticism for how high they drafted Bijan. What y'all saying now? He is unbelievable. He's an everything player. And another guy who I think is coming along very quickly, rookie Xavier Watts. He's the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Month for the entire league. That's nuts. He's got 2 picks already, the only rookie to have more than 1 interception through 4 games. Grant, what kind of an impact has X had so far? Because this kid is flying all over the field.
Well, I think that's really what it brings to this defense. You wanted to see some energy and some playmakers from this draft class come right in and make their presence felt. He's certainly done that. The interceptions speak loudly because obviously those can change a game very quickly. But I just think his overall play, he has adapted very quickly, and I think he's going to be a guy that just is one of those kind of pillar players that they can build a defense around, and they had a draft that could be full of those. So the fact that we're talking about him and not even some of these other guys right now just kind of lets you know just how well I feel like the Falcons brought in this new crop.
They thought by picking him up in the 3rd round that he was such a steal, and he's proving that by what he's already been awarded by the NFL through 4 games. Let's talk about Michael Penix Jr. for a second. I hate to pile onto him. He was pretty terrible against the Panthers. We all know that. We've talked about it. It's well documented. He had a very good game against the Commanders. Very good turnaround, which I think was key for his confidence, and the offense as well looked better, Joe. What was important about the way that they turned around and were able to shine a little bit?
Yeah, and just to underscore the point of the turnaround, based on EPA, it's expected points added. It's kind of the general metric that you use to judge value of a player. He had the 3rd worst game of any NFL quarterback in that game against the Panthers. Comes back, and at the time of the game, it was the 3rd best game that any quarterback had against the Commanders. And I think that one of the things that we're seeing a lot on these clips is him getting the ball to Kyle Pitts. And I think that's going to be so important for Michael Penix to be successful and for Zach Robinson and this Falcons offense to be successful, is to get one of your potentially biggest playmakers on that side of the ball involved as much as they have been. And he said at the beginning of training camp, got KP the ball a lot today. That's something that happens. And I think we're seeing the fruits of what can happen when you do that.
Yeah, Penix is known for the deep ball. We knew that coming out of Washington. But in the Commanders game, he was able to make those intermediate throws and throws all over the field that were important, a lot of which, to Joe's point, to Kyle Pitts, who is having, honestly, one of the best years that he's had in the NFL so far. I very much enjoy watching film back on Monday and looking at number 8. I can't say that I've felt that way the last couple years.
Totally.
Kyle looks different to me, Grant. What is different about the resurgence of KP and the importance of him in this offense?
Well, the involvement is obviously important, and he's making the most of his opportunities to make these plays. I think that, and you saw this last year in the final 9 games, I mean, he just was not a factor. They were not looking at him. They were not expecting a lot out of him, and that obviously can kind of be the road that leads you right out of an offense, right out of town. But to his credit, put in the work. He's connected with Michael Penix, and that, I think, is a trust factor that's been built. Then you add in the Drake Londons and the Bijans and the Moonies and whoever else you want to throw in there. It just makes it a much more versatile offense with more weapons for Michael Penix to utilize. And Kyle Pitts, I think, considering where he's drafted and where they brought him in, they're loving to see this finally come through, even though it was, I guess, better late than never.
Yeah, and especially in a contract year, it's important for a player to kind of show up.
There is that.
Kyle Pitts Sr. still getting used to that on the back of his jersey.